All right, some breaking news for a Saturday. The Democrats have got their bill finally passed in the Senate. The COVID-19 relief package has been stripped, hollowed out, repackaged, whatever you want to call it, and they're sending it back to the House for a vote as soon as this Monday and as late as Tuesday. So that's good. There's probably a few things we should talk about, though. Yes, I'm glad these checks are going to be going out. Yes, I'm glad the relief is going to be out soon. I believe their initial deadline was March 14th. So, we're ahead of that. So it seems to be a little ahead of schedule or on schedule. So those are good things. But listen, they didn't get the $15 an hour federal minimum wage. That's a fail. Okay. The stimulus checks were supposed to be $2,000. They are now $1,400. And there was something else that was really just like people getting screwed over. So, anyways, they lost a bunch of provisions that they promised. They promised a $15 minimum wage. They promised $2,000 checks, and this whole thing about bipartisanship comes up. And remember, the GOP didn't cast one vote for this bill. So why did they hollow out all of these things? Why did the checks go from $2,000 to $1,400? Why did there go from a $15 minimum wage to no minimum wage? It's like, where's the deal making? There's no deal making. And Democrats are always saying, oh, look at our blessed bipartisanship relationship with the GOP. It's literally non-existent. It doesn't exist. If the GOP bipartisanship angle exists, it will exist by proxy. It will exist by Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. So, and the other thing, speaking of Joe Manchin, the weekly unemployment went from 400 to 300 because of Joe Manchin. That's how the GOP will be working in the future, by proxy, through these hardcore right-wing Democrats. And I'm just saying, like, where's the bipartisanship there? It's just ineptitude on the part of the Democrats to not follow through on the checks, to not follow through on the $15 minimum wage, to not follow through on the $400 that Biden wanted. Biden said he wanted $2,000 checks, a $15 minimum wage, and $400 in weekly unemployment. And it was all like hollowed out and stripped down. And then it's just like, at the end of the day, the GOP didn't even vote for any of it. So why are you making concessions with people who aren't even voting for it? That makes no sense. It's like there's this pathological austerity in Washington or with Democrats. Like they're making bipartisanship agreements with ghosts. No one on the GOP side is supporting this bill. So why would you hollow it out at all? Are you trying to impress them? Are you trying to take off your shirt and flex your muscles so they hope that they notice you? Okay? Like, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense in any sane world for the Democrats to just, shoot themselves in the foot again, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory again. God, the bar is so low. Jesus God. I just don't have the optimism like I used to. Like, it's genuinely bad. Like, these people cannot do the bare minimum, okay? They have to take the bare minimum and lay austerity upon that, okay? Because God forbid God forbid anybody be semi-comfortable living through a pandemic. God forbid, right? That'd be asking too much, right? Someone being semi-comfortable. Breathe. Breathe out the hate for these feckless Democrats. They are the worst. They're almost worse than the GOP. Why? Because the GOP doesn't pretend. They'll just tell you flat out, screw you, screw the working class, we don't support any of it. But the Democrats pretend like they do. And that's what really hurts. That's what sucks, is someone pretending to care and not caring. I'd rather have someone who doesn't care be open and upfront about it than someone putting on a big happy smile and saying they care when they don't. Okay? So it's like, this is why I rail against the Democrats. And I'm not a Democrat, by the way. I'm an independent. But, I try to cheer for the Democrats because they're better than the Republicans. That's all we got. Okay? And we need third parties. And we need, campaign finance reform laws changed. And we need an actual democracy. I know that. But God, just fight for us. For once in your life, fight for us. The bar is so low. Man, they don't have to do anything. And they still screw it up. They still throw you crumbs. And they're in control. Remember, they're in control, guys. They have all the votes. They have the budget reconciliation. And they still can't get it done. Unbelievable. It's pathetic. They're pathetic. I have nothing good to say about them. But the bill's passed. That's good. Some relief will get out. That's good. That's good. Right? Okay. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, share, subscribe. Click the bell.